Yandiswa, a very good morning to you. Tell us what we should be doing today.
Thank you for having me. So today is World Read Aloud Day, and today you should be reading to a child in your care, a child you know of, a friend's child or children that you know of. And we celebrate this day because it's such an important day just to advocate for parents to really take time out, and teachers and ECD practitioners to actually read out loud to children and read a story that they're going to enjoy, that is contextually relevant. And today is really just about reading books and engaging children in text.
Remind us why it is so good to read and why it's so good to read out loud.
Absolutely. So it's important to read, but it's so much more important to read aloud. It's important because it's part of building the language, knowledge, and motivation all children require to learn and read. But also, I mean, when you read together with your child, it builds rapport, it builds connection, but it also teaches children the value of books, the value of stories, and it extends their imagination. But above and beyond all of that as well, we know that children who are read to, it expands their children's vocabulary, it engages their curious minds, it builds concentration, and it helps them identify letters, from a very young age. But reading to children and reading with children is so important, particularly for adults, because role modeling becomes an important aspect of that. Children want to see adults around them reading, and they will begin to adopt those behaviors as well. So it's incredibly important, and we know that learning does not happen if you cannot read, so you won't be able to understand what it is that you're reading, but also just above and beyond the technicalities that we know that come with reading. We want children who enjoy text, who get immersed in it, who love reading, who don't need to be prompted to read, who can easily pick up a book by themselves and really enjoy the culture, and we want to instill that culture of reading in all
Okay,
children.
so what can we do, Yandiswa? Because we know in this country, children are not reading enough. Adults are not reading enough. I mean, many kids in school, they leave school and they can't even read. So what needs to change so we can unlock this potential?
Absolutely. A lot needs to change in our homes, in our communities, in our schools. And it starts with the adults around children. So whether it's a teacher, it's a parent, it's a neighbor, we need to begin to make reading not just valuable, but we need to read ourselves. But we know, like you just said, there are adults who are also illiterate, who have children that they would like to be able to read. So I suppose it really starts with changing the reading perceptions, or improving those perceptions in our country, so that reading is seen as something that is fun, that is exciting, that is fashionable, and when we change those perceptions, to also make sure that we make provision, books must be accessible, affordable. There are homes or children who don't have age-appropriate books in their homes or in their classrooms. And that in itself is a problem, because how do we want children to read when they don't have the necessary resources to do so? So when you ask, what do we need to do as adults? Let's celebrate children's birthdays by gifting them with books. Let's help out in our communities, our nearby schools, by donating books. Let's, do the little that you can in your immediate, a space of influence, by really just encouraging children around you to read. Nal'ibali has all sorts of resources. Our website is zero-rated, which means that you can access it data-free, and you can download all sorts of stories for young children, whether it's audio stories or it's text. They're all available.
Let me jump in there quickly. What is the website? Just give it to us.
Website is www.nal'ibali.org. That's the Nal'ibali website.
Yandiswa, I love your enthusiasm. I mean, it really is great reading, isn't it? Just getting lost out there in the world.